My name is Wiley Welch. I am the Social Studies Sterling Scholar, and I go to Lehigh High School. If I were to name 3 artifacts, it would be my participation in the Utah Women's Walk, where I nominated a dear friend of mine and got her an award for engineering and inspiring women in Utah. The second thing would be my humanitarian work in Guatemala, where I taught classes. I taught about 18 classes, and I gave eye clinics, and I was able to interact with kids and be able to teach them a little bit about history, as well as build catapults and interact with them and have fun. The third thing would be for the Utah Women's Walk.
What is the Women's Walk? Tell us again.
The Utah Women's Walk is a project to celebrate all of the great leaders in Utah that are women and that are particularly good at their field. I nominated my best friend's mom, her name is Terry Bateman, and she teaches engineering at BYU. And she has her own program there, and I was like, for teaching women, I was like, hey, you would be a great candidate for that. I was like, so I nominated her, and I went down to UVU, and I did an interview with her, and I was able to get her an award for that. It's the thrill of pushing myself. For example, when I was a freshman running track at Willow Creek Middle School, I was running the 800, and there was this kid, his name was Alex. He was always faster than me, but I was like always close behind him. Sometimes it was like 6 seconds, which was kind of close. But when we got down to the last meet of the year, I was able to fall behind him for about 90% of the time. And I just remember the last 200 meters him running and myself thinking of like, dude, I'm not gonna let him get out of this way. I'm gonna push as hard as I can. So I start running and running and running. I see his arm pop out. I'm like, oh my, I can actually do this. And so I got really close, and then I lost. And then I actually threw up right afterwards. And that was super unfortunate, but it was the thrill of pushing myself to above and beyond and be able to be the best I could be at that moment. And I've tried to adopt that thrill into my academics by taking not necessarily harder classes, but more advanced classes, such as my college classes. I've taken about 22 right now in this fall semester, and I've taken AP classes, I've taken honors classes, and those classes have helped me fulfill that same like thrill and drive of, oh, I get to try something new that's super hard, but like if I beat this, then I could probably do something a little more. And I've just slowly been building myself up to take on more and more, and I love that thrill. I'm the oldest of my 4 other siblings, so I've always been told, hey, your siblings are watching you, and I'm like, no, they're not, but they actually are. And I've learned that if I behave well and I work with them, then we can progress together and improve. And I think I'm a strong believer in that. Taking AP World History was super fun for me because I had my friends, and I had that good background of taking World Civ in middle school, and I was like, oh man, I have a good idea of like what this was like, and I remember this, and it was just so like deja vu for me. It was just so fulfilling, and drove me to be like, is this something that I'm good at? And I found out later I got a 5 on the AP World History test, and I was like, hey, this is something that I'm super good at and I might want to consider doing with in the future. And so that's why I really like social studies, is because I feel like I have a good background in it. And I really enjoyed the classes and the stories, because really history is just a collection of stories. And they always teach a lesson, and they're always just super fun and enjoyable.